Well, this episode of The Mandalorian has got to be one of my favorites so far. Thoroughly enjoyed the action packed into this episode and the great cameo we get. But before we dive in, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. And let's talk about The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 3, Heiress, the Heiress. Now, if you're new, I do these with spoilers. This is your first and only spoiler warning, and we are here after 1:30 in the morning. It's a little late, so I kind of stumble here and there, but let's talk about this episode. Whew, oh my goodness, we finally get, spoiler warning, bo-katan in The Mandalorian. Like, talk about a great callback from Clone Wars. We get another Mandalorian, and what's so interesting is that there is this faction that Mando seems to belong to that has the old ways and the old customs in mind versus bo-katan, which seems to be a more modern take on the Mandalorians. I really liked this dynamic that she kind of addressed him and was like, you're kind of in the ancient ways, and that's not quite how we do things anymore, because she easily removes her helmet, and it's Katie Sackhoff, by the way, yes! And it really begs the question, what is Mando's background, and what is this mysterious religion that she refers to? You know, I want to know what this is and the dynamic it brings to the story, because it sounds to me like Mando maybe a rare Mandalorian, like the group that he belonged to was a very rare and special type of Mandalorian that does the old customs, while bo-katan and possibly Sabine Wren is more of a new custom. We saw Sasha Banks towards the beginning of the episode, so I'm curious to see. I don't think she's Ahsoka, but I mean, look, Ahsoka Tano is referenced towards the end of this episode, so maybe she is, I'm not sure. However, wow, we got some amazing gun battles. They infiltrate an Empire ship. I'm talking bo-katan and Mando and a couple of other Mandalorians in bo-katan's party. And it's awesome. I mean, just a large gun battle. You get a ton of guns blazing back and forth between stormtroopers and the Mandalorians, and they easily take them down. Of course, they're Mandos, they should. And then we get Moff Gideon. So we're back to Moff Gideon. He tells the commander of the ship to take it over and essentially crash the ship. And of course, the Mandos take him down. What's so cool is how smooth and easy this feels for them. The Mandalorians are so talented, and bo-katan, like, that's just blowing my mind. She is still on her mission to get Mandalore back. This ties together the Darksaber being in Moff Gideon's hands. She's going to go after Moff Gideon, it seems like, at least, or she's trying to get back to Mandalore and Moff Gideon is standing in the way. There are so many implications in this episode for, like, Mandalorian and Din Djarin and the type of Mandalorian he is. So really great lore in this episode. Also, we saw another calamari. It wasn't Admiral Akbar, but he talked and looked exactly like him. So that was a great piece to put into the episode, bring us back into the original trilogy and really get us in that classic Star Wars feel. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and it was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, who did the episode that I actually liked the least, Season 1. I believe it was Episode 3 of Season 1 as well. But I really like this episode. Of course, the cinematography and the shot selection is great, but you get these cute little shots of Baby Yoda that make him so absolutely adorable. And Ahsoka Tano is mentioned. So we know, of course, she's in the series. We learned that before coming into the series. So Ahsoka's possibly going to be in the next episode. Maybe not until a couple episodes later. I'm sure he's going to run into something that's going to get in the way. However, I am stoked and ecstatic to get to Ahsoka. It sounds like we are very close to that, so I cannot wait. But I really like this episode. I'm back to that feeling of episode 1, because 2 I was a little bit shaky about, but this episode, big fan. It does, me and Mod from Geek Bomb actually talk about The Mandalorian on Fridays over on Geek Bomb, and she brought up something very interesting. She said that there are a lot of quests. It feels like a lot of quests, and this also feels like another quest. help out the Mandalorians take this Empire ship. It definitely feels like a quest, but this is awesome. Again, the guns, the production value of this season is stepped up. It just really, this episode is so good, you all. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, though. What did you think of this episode? Did you like it more than the last episode? Maybe I'm in the rarity here. Maybe I have a hot take, but I really liked this episode because we got to see some Mandos versus Stormtroopers. We got to see a lot of action in this episode. And as an action junkie, I was very happy, everybody. But be sure to subscribe and come back next week for another review of the next episode of The Mandalorian, episode 4. I am so ecstatic for what's to come. I'm really hoping we get Ahsoka Tano. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and we will see you next time.